There, friends and fans, Raptor here, and welcome back to more of Broken Arrow. The campaign continues here on the channel, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell for more. Now, recently on our live streams, I've been showcasing all of these missions and kind of giving them a try before we jump into our video series, and I've got to say, I had an initial plan of thinking that I'd go through one campaign and then maybe the other and jump back and forth on occasion just to keep things fresh, but the way it's been working is that there seems to be some missions that are a little more interesting than others, and I want to keep a sense of flow, but these are going to be all over the place. For example, if we just did the American campaign, it would just be America the whole time throughout this, as you see down here, and I'm not sure exactly how many American or Russian missions there are, but it does seem like the American ones are a little bit more focused in one objective of trying to capture Kaliningrad, as where the Russians are all over in kind of two separate campaigns, one here in Lithuania that swings into Latvia, and then one in northern Estonia all the way out to the west. So anyway, these might be a little kind of out of order. I'm still trying to figure out how the story works to put everything together, but just as an FYI, if you're confused at this point in the story, I just wanted to make it clear that yeah, so am I, and I think that's kind of intentional. If I ever do another series after beating all these missions, I'll have a better sense of how to do things, because they are dynamic and not linear, and that will help me to tell a better story and maybe keep things straight from everybody and try to explain what's going on for everyone who might not know. Regardless, these missions are very fun, so let's get into it. We're already done with the tracked and furious mission invading from Poland. We're also done with the big naval invasion too, with the Marines landing on the coast, and now we're going to jump into the AIRBASE HEIST, which we haven't yet seen. After that, we then move on to a special forces mission, but we'll save that for a little bit later. So let's go ahead and replay. You probably have already seen it before on the channel during a special beta, and then of course also recently on the channel for our live streams. This mission about taking control of Chekalovisk Air Base with an airdrop. Let's go.
Chekalov's Naval Air Base, 5 miles northwest of Kaliningrad. This is our target. The city will be a tough nut to crack, so we need to seize key infrastructures to reinforce our logistic line first. So our objective is to capture this base with the runway intact. The 82nd Airborne Division is preparing for the assault, but the air defense of the base must be suppressed first. Planes equipped with anti-radiation missiles will open the way, and once it's done, the paratroopers will make their jump and establish a defensive perimeter. From there, we can airlift heavier equipment and begin the siege of the city.
Sir, the paratroopers are ready for the drop.
What about the escort?
F-16s, equipped with AGM-88 anti-radiation missiles, will open the way and suppress the enemy air defense.
And the rest of the planes I've requested?
Strike planes will be available as reinforcement as soon as the seed mission is over. A-10s to hunt enemy vehicles, F-35s equipped with guided bombs, and F-15s carrying cluster munitions in case large enemy formations are spotted.
Perfect. The Paras can't hold their own against tanks, so they'll need the support.
We also have B-1B supersonic bombers on standby.
What's the point? Our objective is to capture this base, not to plow the runway with a carpet of bombs.
In case you failed, General, I prefer to see this base erased from the map rather than letting the Russians keep it.
There will be no failure. Let's go, Commander. We got a mission to succeed.
Okay, so our mission then is to suppress the enemy air defenses, conduct an airborne assault, and then secure the runway. The enemy will also be counterattacking, so we'll have to prepare for defenses as well. Let's jump in then to AIRBASE HEIST.
Special tactics teams have located the anti-air missiles around the airfield. S-300 missiles and anti-aircraft guns can intercept missiles when their radar is active. The recommended course of action is to approach from low altitude and send a high number of seed planes at once to overwhelm them.
Oh, we can do just that. Let's begin. Okay, so we have access to the F-16CJ. All we had to do is follow the damn train, and I think we'll wait for a few more points while we look around a little bit. So familiar territory for us. A couple of spoilers ahead here. We need to find an Su-57, which is somewhere out in these parked out in front of these hangars somewhere. I think it's randomized every time you play. In addition to that, we're going to have to secure, I believe, these two little barracks against the enemy after capturing the air traffic control tower here. So that's kind of our first main objective. Then secondary, these two separate barracks. Then we'll have to also capture this section, and then finally like the command bunkers up here. In addition to that, the enemy will be lurking around after we capture the first objective with a lot of anti-aircraft, so it'll be a lot harder with drones because they will have like ZU-23s, I think they are rolling around, as well as some Biruses, and I think there's also some Strelas, so it's going to be rather difficult even with drones to see what's going on. We're going to bulk up on a ton of points too after this and try to land all of our forces. We're still missing a few planes, but I think the best way to do this is to try to bring in all the planes at once to absolutely overwhelm the air defenses and also shoot down a couple of choppers. An additional thing that was added, which is really cool, special mission wise, is that the Russians will also start to launch choppers from here, and so it's an endless spawn point for them to bring in helicopters until we capture that. So another good little early intel thing that's different than the beta. So they've definitely mixed some things around, and I think that's awesome. So hopefully they continue to do different things that we haven't seen before. Now these choppers here, I believe there's going to be 2 of them at the start and 2 of them a little bit later, and then additional choppers after that objective triggers, so they're going to be quite dangerous. We need to work with our STT teams. We also get our own special tactic teams from our airdrops a little bit later, and these guys are equipped, maybe not these ones, but they have, our group comes with Stinger missiles, so they'll be able to shoot them down, and right now these groups are observing the S-300 V4s, so we're gonna go ahead and pop them as soon as possible. All right, I think we're about ready to start the assault. I think we need as many planes as possible, but this should be a good start. We're just missing 1, so let's speed up time just a little bit. An additional thing here is that one of the medals after the campaign is to not lose any aircraft, and that just seems nearly impossible. I think you're also not supposed to lose any units. I'm not entirely sure. I can't recall, but crazy. As soon as we call these units out too, by the way, they get shot at even if we're right on the border. So we're going to try to call these F-16s out.
This is Zulu Liner 1-1 entering the AO. Jammers are on. Time to play them some music.
And they're already targeting us, as you can see. We're right up against the border as close as we can get. We're going to go ahead and afterburners on and start heading in.
New course set. Let's hit mark 1. Viper, Magnum, missile away. Radar destruction confirmed.
I'm going to try to let these guys loiter a little bit to try to destroy as many possible anti-aircraft batteries and helicopters as we can.
I'm hit. On the hunt for radars.
Go ahead and see if we can shoot this one down here. Oh, wow. Insane. Okay, well, that's the first time that that's happened. None of our planes actually destroyed the last one. That's the first time I've seen that. Regardless, though, they did destroy a bunch of choppers and other airborne or anti-aircraft seed aircraft, so or ground units. These ones active, basically, that the aircraft can engage. That's a first. Let's go ahead and see what else we got for cooldown. One of our airplanes made it there. That is crazy. Yeah, so 8 aircraft versus, what was it, 4 launchers? Pretty insane. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. We might be able to get this one done, but I think the missile launcher down there will be able to fire at the aircraft and block its missiles too. Pretty insane how that works out. Well, let's give it a shot. Wow, I got him. All right.
They're either destroyed or too afraid to turn them on now.
Wow.
Zulu Liner out.
Good job, bro. Oh, and
Send in the airborne.
To airdrop troops, select a cargo plane in the reinforcements. Load it with infantry and airdroppable vehicles. Cargo planes automatically airdrop troops where you call them. You can also give the order manually if you want the plane to arrive from a different direction.
All right. Shocked to see a little bit of that RNG.
We will use this elevated position as an observation post to call in airstrikes.
Let's see. We're not getting access to anything just yet. Oh, we have to go from air. There we go. And then choose the vehicle. There we go. All right, we're going to start with some Sheridans at the end of the field, and maybe we'll also call in some Humvee tows. And that's going to be about it for the start there. Oh, we can also call in some paratroopers. Good. Oh, that thing's going to be heavily loaded. Heavily loaded. We're going to call in a few of these if we can. So another Sheridan, another tow, and more infantry. And we're just going to kind of keep doing it like that until we are out of points, which will be shortly. Pretty much like that. All right, so we're also starting way down here too, so that way there's no gunfire and we don't have to put any money towards supply just yet, but of course eventually we will have to. And I do notice on occasion these Hercules do not return to base automatically after dropping their cargo, so we will have to do a little babysitting. Also, Mi-35 there is going to be looking for juicy targets, so we'll have to get a, I believe it's the Avenger up there, so we'll get that as soon as possible. Okay, so we started with some good tanks here. Let's go ahead and get things set up. So the first time I played this on stream, we had some pretty good luck with destroying all the ground-based anti-aircraft and also destroying the choppers. So I do believe, you know, every time you play, you're going to get a different outcome in an air battle. Luckily, this is not the only air battle in the game, and this is with the 82nd Airborne capturing this airbase, but also there's some others with heavy focus on anti-aircraft, like air superiority, and then fighting with the Marines. So there's a few missions that really feel like ace combat in a way. And so does this one too, like having to go in and suppress enemy air defenses and then have troops land. It's definitely something I've done before in that game, for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and keep dropping troops if we can. Oh, we were out of capacity before. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm going to bring in another C-130. And we're just going to keep pumping in troops wherever. Now, the Sheridans are very good against buildings and infantry out in the open, and garrisoned infantry in the buildings. We're also going to call out the airborne, which are just good basic infantry. They don't, you know, I feel like a lot of these troops that are more specialized should be more vicious, but it's more about their way of getting into the battle. Like, for example, the paratroopers are essentially just regular infantry, but they parachute in. The Rangers are basically regular, you know, army, but they can be brought in via helicopter, and they do have a little bit better stats, but honestly in the battles that I've been in countlessly, they could barely win a one-on-one battle, and I feel like they should win with like maybe only 25% damage against like a full squad or something. Like if they were against a squad twice their size, they should be able to win and do so with only taking maybe a quarter or half of the losses. That's just my opinion on it. Let's go ahead and get the troops a little closer here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring everybody up little by little.
All day, Commander. Get to the control tower at the end of the runway.
Well, we do have all day. Don't let this guy push you. A lot of the game is a trap about telling you to go, 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 and it's kind of misleading for other missions. Some missions are like, dude, get this done, and they say it repeatedly, but nothing happens. In other missions, they allude to that as well, and then you can fail because the game doesn't really clearly sometimes tell you if there's a fail condition for not doing something on time. Everything in this game is always get it done and do it now. But then that makes it lowers the importance of other things, because if everything's an emergency, then nothing's an emergency, and the player doesn't know exactly how to process that, in my opinion. So hopefully they kind of reassess some of that language in the future to make things a little bit more clear. Okay, let's go ahead and keep bringing stuff in here. We might be able to get one more vehicle in, but we'll just keep having the Hercules drop. So my plan here is to bring up tanks as quickly as possible when we are going to launch the assault, and secure the area here and here, left and right flanks around this area. The enemy doesn't have too much inside that control tower area, so we can call in some mortars and hammer them. But what we really want to focus on is the barracks on the right flank. That's going to be a nightmare, and what we want to do here is go right flank into the barracks, then right into this chopper base, and then come back here and capture this. So what we should do is create a perimeter around here, don't capture it, circle to the right, then towards the helipads, and then get ready to go up here, knowing that capturing the control tower will just trigger a bigger mess for us. So we don't want a big mess. So we don't want the in-game trigger to bring in way too many enemies against us. It'll take longer, but it'll keep everybody alive. And when we get towards the end of this mission, there's no way these troops can take out the mass number of mechanized units and tanks that they're going to send at us. So just keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to call up some RQ shadows now as we're starting to move forward. We're going to look for stragglers on the left and right flanks. And we're going to keep building up our points a little bit. Recon is very valuable at this point in the mission because it really can't be stopped. And these STTs are very valuable too because they can shoot down choppers. We're going to try to keep these groups together in groups of 2. So let's send 2 to the right and 2 to the left, and we should be good there. Just again getting into the forests. There we go. Kind of nice to explain how a mission works when I know it a little bit more than the other ones, but it's also very exciting to go into a mission not knowing what to expect. And the game continues to bait me pretty well with the these parameters where it's like, oh no, you know, we're about the enemy, more enemy reinforcements, we can't handle this. And then it keeps doing this thing where it's like, wait, it's our forces. And it's like, wait a minute, you can't tell the difference between like an M1 Abrams and like a T-72? I'm gonna fire you. All right, right now I'm looking for the Su-57 if we can find it. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be up here. It would be nicer if it were down here. We wouldn't have to worry about it at all. It'd be super easy to capture. Let's go back to the C-130s. We're going to try LAVs now with infantry. Actually, we will call out a couple of these as well. And infantry too. Transport overloaded. Okay. Call that in again. Alright, so now we're starting to see enemy units out on the runway. Let's go ahead and pop them. And bring up a lot of our infantry on the right. HMGs are out there in some of those buildings, so we want to watch for that. And the first shots of the war. Or at least this battle. Nice. Wow. It took 8 shots to destroy that infantry. Crazy. Alright, helicopters coming over, getting nosy.
The security forces of the airbase are probably already on their way.
They sure are. That chopper will try to attack us, but STT should be able to block them. Lots of supply on the runway. We don't really need to capture that. I think getting our own supply will be fairly easy in this mission. Okay, let's grab some Avengers and maybe an LAV there. And a Humvee is a little too heavy. Alright, STT on the right and the left are almost in position.
Who called the Guardian Angels? Advancing on target location.
I really want to keep them together.
Special reconnaissance here.
Now you can see here that they've got 4 Stinger missiles. That's not a lot. 8 is a good number, but 4 is a little limited. Some groups even have like 3, depending on what you're calling in, Stinger-wise, of other infantry. All right, next aircraft has landed. Good.
Air defense, standing by.
All right, the Avengers will be very good against those choppers. I also want to keep the Avengers together too to protect each other if one becomes stunned.
Anti-armor, here.
Tows are very important. We're going to bring those up. And these vehicles here, these essentially like little buggies, are going to go into the corners, just making sure that no ZU-23 gets through.
Lab, awaiting order.
LAVs will be with the main force as they're very good against buildings.
Pedal to the metal.
And I'm going to keep filling in
Roger. We're on the
these areas with some additional firepower. These have M2 MGs, so those will be quite effective against the any sort of ground forces, especially light units. The ZUs being a good example of that. We'll see those later. Okay, still building up the force. Boy, weapon squads would be outstanding. Oh, we also have some artillery. I thought we had mortars in this mission, but it's actually these, the Brutus. And not enough points for that yet. But artillery will probably be the next thing on the menu. Since we can see where the enemy is now, we'll pound the hell out of them with artillery first, then sneak in with the infantry and get real close, and then anybody else who's left, if they're 25, well, around 45 to 25% health, will engage them or less. But I expect to see around 25 after artillery strikes, if not dead. Okay, we also need supply being brought in too. Oh, we can only bring in one of these at a time. Oof. We'll bring in a maximum amount of supply then, and we'll move that up with the trucks, and we'll bring the artillery and supply right around there. There we go. And we'll bring a couple of trucks up if we can. Nope. All right, we're going to have to wait a little bit again. C-130J, 30 Hercules. There he is. Also, another thing that's great in multiplayer is you can customize some of these paint jobs too, and the more you get through the campaign or special conditions that you meet in multiplayer, you're actually able to change the color patterns of these things. There's a couple of different camos or whatever for style and bonus points, I guess, for looking cool. You can look tactical that way. Alright, still a little light on the points, but we've got a ton of units out. I'm gonna go ahead and keep these airborne over here, and when we move in on this bunker here and these other areas, we're gonna try to move left and right around this bunker and try to keep the STT away from them. Alright. We continue to put these all along the roads. This is where the enemy will patrol with their anti-aircraft guns.
Airmen on the ground. Infantry here.
One STT in those positions. Those guys can go in the corners. And these will all be moving for now, but this is perimeter security. Okay, and these guys are a little... No, they're fine. Everything's okay for now, so long as we know where the enemy is, based on experience. Transport overloaded. Okay, bring that in. And we'll have to wait again. Alright, the shadows are probably low on battery. Oh, they could stay up a very long time. Alright, artillery piece number 2 moving up. These things are great. They hold 18 rounds, but what they do very well is essentially almost pinpoint accuracy without any sort of laser precision, since they're pretty short range, and will keep them close to the enemy. So within a few shots, they'll be taking everything down. Looks like that chopper's getting a little nosy. If he comes any closer, he will get hit. STTs have a pretty good range. Okay, let's call the drones back before we start the artillery strike, and I'm going to refresh them and call out a new group. And I like to call out everything in this mission because really you're going to be doing a lot of perimeter security, and also inside the buildings in the fight on the right side in the barracks. It's good to bring up those grenade launchers and 50 cals. Another thing that we've noticed too is that even if we clear these buildings and clear these buildings before the secondary objective triggers, the game will still spawn a ton of troops like that, like out of nowhere. You've already cleared the barracks, but magically tons of troops are here. I guess the way you could say it is that perhaps these troops were waiting underground or moving from tunnel to tunnel. Maybe there's a tunnel between these barracks or something like that, and they come pouring out. So we'll have to keep that in mind too. So if we take any losses due to that, we prepared for it, but it's a condition that happens with the game, and that's just, it is what it is. Alright, 3 artillery pieces ready to go. Command Group 1. I'm going to move our infantry up a little further. 82nd Airborne.
Ready for action. Infantry at your orders.
Going to kind of keep some of them here, but move them up too. Luckily, special tactics teams are recon, but really the RQ shadows are very effective. Call up 2 of those now.
New grid set.
And we're ready with artillery on the right side. Almost. Next thing is probably a supply truck or 2. Couple of MGs.
Weapons team ready.
And we'll get our AGLs ready for the right side, as well as HMGs.
Move out. Infantry here, standing by. New orders, advance and secure.
And there comes the drones. Good. This mission's a lot of prep. This kind of reminds me of some of the missions in World in Conflict, like the highway mission, where you get a little bit of time to prepare. But the developers of that game did such a good job with pacing, where it's like you're waiting for a big assault, but there's a little side objective. You can go blow up a couple trucks here and there, a couple tanks here and there, while you're waiting for the big assault. And this game does a very good job with that in later missions. There's some that are incredibly good, and a couple of that are not as good, but not bad, let's just say. All right, let's go ahead and blow up that building. And we're just going to start chipping away. at every little unit that comes our way.
Infantry ready for combat. Move, shoot, communicate. Pushing forward. Advance and secure.
Look at that, accurate every time.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me. Ready to rain down gas.
Well, it looks like target destroyed. Looks like they're moving to this position.
Direct fire engagement.
No survivors on that one.
Weapons team here. Weapons team at your command, sir. Infantry reporting.
Airborne getting a little too close.
Here, we're moving out. Move your fucking asses.
Nice, that artillery hitting them right before they hit the building. So they can get another strike on them. Oh, you're kidding me. I do like when a unit dies, though, you do see a skull. And it's nice to know that you've destroyed something, even if you can't see it. Oh, wow, one unit in there. I think we can ignore that. Let's hit the next one. We'll have the airborne push up.
Lock and load.
They can take care of one
Roger, move and
likely very wounded individual.
fire and maneuver. Need some heavy firepower.
Get AGLs up there.
Fit for fight.
More airborne up there. Supplies popping off.
New orders. We lead the assault.
Oh, nice. All right, all done. Good, good, good.
Standing by.
All right, hold fire. All right, let's do the same on the left side.
Target marked. Direct fire.
A little further this time, but
Air defense at your disposal, sir.
and we could also hit the Biryusas. That might be important for us to do since the aircraft we have to capture is a little further away. I think. We'll see. A little off that time.
Mobile artillery ready. Send mission.
A little more accurate. Seems to be firing right to the marker, so I'm going to go ahead and fire a little to the left.
Infantry.
In the meantime, let's get the airborne across
New orders. Advance.
and into buildings there. And we just need to secure this little hangar area before the push to the barracks.
You like big guns too?
Okay, that's enough for now. Let's go back
Departing.
and rearm.
Ain't nothing gonna get now.
And we'll bring up supply trucks. Okay, we got Hercules ready to go again. Let's get some LAVs out. Only one. Transport overloaded. Okay. Gonna try to float maybe around 500 or 600 points on average. I do want to keep some extra space for harms, which now we've only got 2, but they could be useful for shooting down choppers if they come near.
Mobile artillery reporting in.
Yeah, all right, and they'll resupply.
Troop transport
Easy as
reporting in.
pie.
Armored transport ready. Someone call for a cab?
All right, so far so good again.
The Air Force is on the ground.
Go ahead and sneak up here with the STT and see if they can get him.
Ready for action. Solid copy. Advance and report. Armored transport standing by. Infantry at
And we'll move up airborne here.
Roger, move and secure. Infantry good to go.
I think they just got him, right? I think they did.
DJ's here, standing by.
Not too worried about it. All right.
Artillery at your command.
Finishing up resupply of these units.
Moving there now. Let's hit axle rating. Logistics ready.
These carry about 2,000 supply, and that's ready for infantry on the right if they need it, when they need it. They will absolutely be taking losses when they attack that barracks and when they try to hold against the counterattack.
Nothing gonna get in our way.
The big one.
Artillery on the move. infantry at your orders. Establish a base of fire in that building. Rod, move out. Infantry ready for combat.
Looks like we took a little mini loss there with this one group, so we'll call them back.
Look alive.
And batteries are okay for now. Keep an eye for any random movement. And we'll move these shadows up a little bit.
All things shall be revealed.
I don't think there are man pads in the barracks, but if there are,
We're moving.
we'll find where they are.
Artillery available, sir. Proceeding to the next base of fire.
Okay, so now we know where a few units are. Transport overloaded again. And it'll be most of our infantry. But we'll wait for more points.
Ready to rain down death.
Oh, wait, let's get in position first.
Moving.
Get in position, spread out. So we know they're in that building there.
Reporting in. Providing direct fire.
And let's get all of our units ready here.
Transport reporting in. Pedal to the metal. Good copy. Next waypoint received. Lab here. Roger. We're on the move. ATGM carrier standing by.
Those tows are going to be valuable too against light units that may come through.
No party without Hardy.
Now we're going to have to defend this barracks, so we don't want to mess it up too much.
Infantry ready for action. Lock and load. We're moving. Move. Shoot. Communicate. Lock and load. We're moving. I love big guns. Check a leg.
Do one more volley.
Weapons team standing by. Artillery available, sir.
Perfect. Okay, recon's out of battery. Let's get some more.
Drone is on its way.
And while we wait for that,
5.
I think that's full. Do a little airdrop over on that right side.
Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
So we're gonna have to push through these barracks and probably up there as well. Much more difficult situation and a different start too, but that's what's also fun for replayability here.
Heavy weapons ready.
Definitely want those guys with our tanks,
Humvee here. Roger. Moving out.
and the Humvees will just be added security.
Need supplies? Move your asses, maggots! Troop transport ready. Someone asked for a ride?
All right, they're pretty much toast there. Let's kill that squad in the woods.
With direct fire.
Birusa could hit that. We need to not go that way. Oh,
Drone is damaged or malfunctioning. Good copy. Request RTB.
so there's definitely man pads at the helicopter base. Ooh. At the helicopter base for sure.
All things shall be revealed. Waypoint
Okay,
updated.
we're going to put our focus on the barracks because there's going to be a big battle there. The big barracks battle.
My gaze pierces cloud and shadow. Wilco.
Troops in combat. What are your orders? Weapons team at your orders.
Let's go ahead and have them face the grenade launchers.
Pushing forward. Infantry
our transport truck there.
Put that hammer down! Double time!
Nice. Clear that building out. So supplier coming up, and I think we'll also make sure we bring up more supply for the artillery. It's a good spot for our artillery.
Into the line! All out, please! Fly truck ready to transport. Cargo dumped! Fit for fight,
Okay,
sir.
let's begin the push.
Get in that building! Set up a base of fire! Heavy weapons ready! Rock up! We're moving! All hands! Infantry reporting in. Infantry here.
Beautiful.
On the double squad!
Operator here. Send mission.
Mobile artillery
All right, let's keep an eye on what else they have. Infantry there in the open. Well, tree line, but still.
The drone took a hit. We must bring it back. Signal clear. Receiving the optical feed. Drone is RTB.
All right, so that's about the absolute limit we can put the drones. But at least we know most of these areas are clear.
Infantry good to go. Move your asses, maggots! On ass, we're moving! Infantry at your command, sir. Look alive! Ready for action. Infantry at your orders. Artillery at your command, sir.
All right, let's put them inside the artillery circle. Supply.
Need supplies?
Artillery in the supply circle.
Humvee here. Go ahead. Looking for enemy contact.
And these Humvees, I guess, will assist now. The main column is ready to push up the middle for that air base here. So we'll start moving on the right side too.
Ready for action. Sweeping the area.
These things we do that others
Move
may
and
live.
secure. Go. Personal carrier ready. Copy. Relocating.
Okay.
Fit for fight, sir. Infantry ready for combat.
More recons ready to go. We'll keep our recon back a little bit this time. But we'll do double it.
Set.
So that way we can see even better.
Who called the Guardian Angel? Special reconnaissance here. Keep pushing. Moving through.
Took out a chopper. That's nice.
Vehicle status red. Situation's hot. Move backwards. Moving out.
Little buggy there knocked out. All good. What do we got for reinforcements? Just some more light vehicles.
Infantry here.
Okay, we're ready to start the push. We're gonna have to work in groups of 2 here.
Infantry ready for action. Armored transport reporting in. Humvee awaiting commands. Quickly now. Artillery ready to fire, sir.
Starting that group of 7 in the back.
I love big guns. Weapons team at your orders. Regroup.
And we'll try to do HMG and grenade launcher together.
Shut up and let's go. Need some heavy firepower? Do you like big guns too?
And some nice mixed groups here.
Weapons team standing by.
One more volley.
No party without Hardy.
Done. Looks like nobody in the control tower.
Infantry good to go. Who needs a Guardian Angel?
Okay, let's capture that building there.
Lock and load. We're moving.
These things we do that others may live.
And more vehicles have arrived. Good.
by. Troop transport ready. Weapons team at your command, sir. Weapons team here. Infantry in combat. Move! Watch your spacing. They won't hear us coming.
Gonna clear out that little SPG team.
Who knew you'd do PT? Rock up, we're moving. Fit for fight, sir. Infantry at your command, sir.
So far, so good. SPG team is retreating
Airmen here. We're under fire.
and eliminated. Good job.
Infantry here. Armored transport, standing by. Solid copy. Advance and report.
Oh, we can call in 3 anti-aircraft guns. Great.
Mobile artillery ready.
Enemy infantry out in the open.
Relocating to the next emplacement. Someone asked for a ride? Weapons team at your orders. Copy. We take that building. I love big guns. We have a building to secure.
Okay, so because we believe they're going to come out of this building here in the highlight, we're going to also secure that building to try to minimize casualties when we push through. This area is already cleared ahead of schedule, making less of a pain in the ass for us. But you would obviously follow the breadcrumbs of where the enemy supply are. The enemy's going to supply where its units are, so that's where you would knock them out, especially around the airfield. They're not going to be on the airfield, but they'll be around the airfield like that. And this kind of gives you, you know, jump off points to get to the objectives. It makes sense.
Troop transport, standing by.
Okay, we're going to put some Humvees around.
Waypoint received. Roger, we're Oscar Mike.
And we're going to have the artillery now start to target anti-aircraft guns so we can get the drones up there a little further. Additionally, when we capture the Su-57, they're going to request that we airlift it out of there like the Americans did with the Hind at some point. But what we're going to do is clear all the anti-aircraft out of there.
Humvee in combat. Stand your order.
And then secure it for the Chinook that will come through.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave.
Enemy bringing a little fight there.
Ready.
Go ahead and resupply them. A little fight on the left side, I hear.
Time to fingerprint that load.
Looks like a AGS moving around.
Special tactics team ready. Troop transport reporting in. New orders. We lead the assault. Battery setup here.
Sounds like it was successful in destroying that.
Artillery moving out.
Move the drones up. Unfortunately, there seems to be a
Visual feed is up.
some sort of a anti-air at the helicopter depot that we can't necessarily see.
On TV over here.
So we're going to try to pop in and drop in.
Our drone is
There they are.
damaged. Multiple malfunctions.
Target marked. Direct fire.
New waypoint set. Eye in the sky.
Looks like there's also one here.
That's affirmed.
All right, well, we sacrificed a little technology for saving some lives of possibly our aircraft when the time comes.
Cargo truck ready.
Nope. Didn't want to do that, actually.
Perk ready. Send traffic.
We have him go back. We'll have 10,000 supply dropped over here.
Someone call for a cab? Copy that. Looking for targets. Airmen on the ground. They won't see us coming.
Okay, we're going to put a
Jay's here. Standing by.
couple of anti-air there.
Mobile artillery reporting in.
Fire artillery again.
Weapons team ready.
They likely won't find anything on their way. Alright, glad the supply got through.
Armored transport, standing by. Put those eggs in the basket. You like big guns too? Let's bundle out.
Great.
Artillery available, sir. Ready for action. Sweeping the area.
Capture that supply there. And see if we can also resupply our Army airborne forces there.
Move, move, move. Roger, move.
Like there's some helicopters there too, possibly.
Infantry reporting in. Infantry at your orders. New orders, advance and secure. Solid copy, advance and report. Get your gear.
Actually, let's move there stealthily. I don't want to engage just yet.
Anti-aircraft here, at your command. Roger, we're on the move.
Okay, we've secured about half the airfield without too much of a fight.
Humvee ready. Need some heavy firepower? Weapons team at your command, sir. I want a base of fire in that building. Infantry ready for combat. Sweeping the area. Run as fast as you're done.
Okay, so trucks are coming back for supply.
Moving the next waypoint.
Perimeter looks really nicely secure.
Pedal to the metal.
A lot of vehicles here that'll be used towards the final attack with heavy machine guns and grenade launchers to keep their heads down in buildings, especially, surprise, surprise, bunkers. That'll work.
Fit for fight, sir.
See if we got anything here.
Check a leg.
We do. Enemy supply.
We have a building to secure.
I'm going to move out there and see if there's anything.
Infantry ready for action.
Okay, we're going to fall back.
Send your orders. Move, move, move.
And we're going to send another squad to assist.
Your command, sir. Humvee awaiting orders. Humvee awaiting commands. Already there. Infantry good to go.
Okay, we're going to overwhelm them with 3 squads.
Infantry reporting in. Establish a base of fire in that building.
And on the right side, let's call up more recon.
Roger that.
And targets for the artillery.
Standing by. Fly truck.
Also want supply for our artillery there. It's a pretty slow mission so far, isn't it? But, I mean, if you do everything in the way that they bait you in, it suddenly becomes very fast, and you're taking a lot of losses and panicking because everything gets thrown at you as we're here. It's almost like we're here in a stealth mission. Like, we've only taken out a few squads rather stealthily with super loud artillery. I mean, you know, it is a thing that could happen, though. You know, you have a unit hidden somewhere and calling in hidden artillery and battering their positions. They haven't detected you, but they know they're being seen. So it's quote-unquote stealth.
Infantry here.
Let's get everybody ready to go in that building. Okay, airborne troops are sneaking up
Get in that
and going in. Looks like 15 is the maximum.
Check that building.
Okay. Good work, boys.
Infantry at your orders.
The drone seems damaged. We must bring it
Rock and
back.
roll.
Push into that next building. And try to keep those drones up, because as you can see, they're fighting with the enemy pretty effectively.
Get your gear. We're moving out. Rock up. We're moving.
Nice, and they killed that squad. So they rushed that hangar and killed everybody in there.
Who knew you'd do PT?
Good job, boys. All right, let's hit that squad there.
Fire. On my mark. Armored transport reporting in.
And just to mix things up a little bit, we're going to bring up some trucks and
Moving to contact.
surround the barracks that way.
Personal carrier ready. Moving there now. The higher they fly, the further they fall. Roger. Moving out.
I'm gonna have this infantry squad capture the control tower when the time comes.
Armored transport, ready. Troop transport, standing by. Troop transport, reporting in.
Thermals
Wow, they're still alive?
cannot hide.
Direct fire.
Well, they're basically dead. Okay, we're gonna bring in the rest of the supply that we'll probably need. That we probably won't use, but always good to have it. All right, let's hit that BRDM-3. There was also looked to be some sort of a man pad over there. And I really haven't seen an Su-57 at the moment. Maybe there was one, but I haven't seen it yet.
Troop transport, reporting in. Roger, moving to next waypoint.
Really worried about flank security from ZSUs.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me. Looks like we got us a convoy.
Hell yeah, brother.
Guys, that's a big 10-4. We're moving. Logistics ready. Fly truck ready to transport.
All right. Hopefully that's done.
Without Hardy.
Oh, yep, that's done now.
Ready to rain down death.
Go ahead and stop shooting and resupply. All right, so now we're going to have the infantry push up.
Fit for fight, sir. Roger. Move
Clean up a little bit with the support of the
reporting in.
ISVs.
Someone ask for a ride? Roger, we're Oscar Mike. Pushing forward.
Yeah, just about half the runway taken.
Armored transport, ready. Personal carrier here. Infantry at your orders. One more hit and our vehicle's done.
Oh, wow, another whole surprise squad there.
At your command, sir. Engaging targets with direct fire.
Regular infantry, by the way.
Infantry ready for action. Copy.
So this is why I'm ganging up on them in groups of 2 and pummeling the hell out of them with artillery, because after playing the Special Forces mission, I realized how ineffective, you know, like for example, Delta, Rangers, and anything else is against just regular infantry, especially in large numbers. I mean, these guys are the best of the best, no doubt, but in the game, I mean, it's like they feel slightly better than they should be, but
Eye in the sky.
I feel like they should be able to take on squads twice their size with minimal damage.
Infantry here. Get your asses in that building.
Actually, let's stay together here.
Get in that building.
Get that supply, but move together.
In that building.
A shame we haven't moved these units yet, but they will be useful towards the end.
Visual
They're kind of there waiting lonely for the action, but
trajectory updated.
nothing for them to do just yet. Ah, where was that man pad from?
Artillery ready to fire, sir.
Drone is online.
That building there, the other hangar.
Artillery ready. Send mission.
Hopefully we don't destroy this yellow building. This will be good for defense. That is going to be, I believe, our last point of defense. When it is our turn to defend the airfield, that's where we must hold.
Reconnaissance. Ready for action. Fire and maneuver.
All right, so at this point in the mission, I want to try to like absolutely swarm the enemy with Humvees, because we have a lot of them deployed, and we've certainly got a huge amount of points remaining. And so, you know, on one hand, we want to minimize losses. On the other hand, we do so by taking the airfield quickly.
Artillery ready to fire,
Which is also true for our defense. because the more this area that we clear out from the enemy, the less surprises we'll have when we have to defend. And also the Chinook mission, which will probably be up here, I suspect. We'll have to keep the artillery nearby too. Okay, no sign of the enemy here.
Regroup and move up. Humvee here. Combat patrol underway.
So I'm going to keep some Humvees around because the enemy again might randomly pour out of a building, and I just want to make sure
Armored transport.
we get to them before that happens.
Someone call for a cab? Personal carrier here. Moving to contact. Looking for enemy contact.
All right, so 16 versus 7. Probably down to 4, 3, 2, and dead. Almost dead. Wow, John Rambo, ladies and gentlemen.
Infantry at your command, sir.
Rambo himself taking on our forces.
We're moving. Look alive. Get your asses in that building.
All right, and things are quiet again. Nice.
Infantry ready for combat.
Okay, let's get the rest of the
All ass.
airborne up here.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser. they
Are
gave
both
me.
supplies
Big road is
ready to
ours.
go? Yes.
Run as fast as you can. On the road again.
Okay, good news. We've just got this to capture then. That'll be a hard point, and then the chopper base should be fairly easy.
You'd be blind without us. Reconnaissance is good to go.
And we'll probably bring up a little bit of security here.
Ready for action. Infantry here, standing by.
And these airborne troops, I think, are going to cut these roads here and here. There could be reinforcements coming in from that way. The ZSUs when they get a chance.
Troop transport ready. Infantry at your command, sir. Move your asses, maggots.
Okay,
DJ's here. Go ahead.
I want to bring up our additional troops.
Special reconnaissance here.
Where's our other special reconnaissance team? There they are.
Who called the Guardian Angels? Move to contact. Pushing forward.
All right.
Heavy weapons ready. I want a base of fire in that building. Logi here, send traffic.
They've only got 900
Let's
supply.
go. Here, beans, bullets, and band-aids.
Let's keep doubling down on that supply. Okay, so then... Man, I wish we had some sort of a bomb here. We will later. We will get F-35s with JDAMs. And I believe they come unlocked for taking these positions here. The enemy is supposed to get surprise artillery.
Copy.
But surprise, they don't. Because we're going to blow it up right away.
Point set.
Troops in combat. Move
They
the
fall back.
fuck up. Infantry ready for action. Fit for fight, sir. Pushing forward.
STT should be able to take them out at range, but I also want to take these positions.
Double squad.
Change of plans.
The Air Force is on the ground.
Here come our drones.
Quickly
Ooh.
now.
They've identified where the STT is. Oh, and they have a... Oh, well, never mind. False alarm.
Infantry good to go.
That must be a vehicle that survived from here.
Troops
Never
in
mind.
combat, requesting orders.
This will be a little bit of a fight.
Move, move, move. Infantry here, we're in combat. Get your head out of your point of contact and move out. For a walk. Shut up and listen.
All right, we're going to take these buildings here. It's going to be our next objective. So hopefully we'll take the objectives 1, 2, and then 3 very quickly.
Artillery available, sir.
Artillery ready for whatever. We can't fire outside the zone either, which is annoying.
Operator here. Send mission.
Let's cut left and right away from that.
En route to target location.
Trajectory updated. All things shall be revealed.
Some infantry kind of just moving.
For
Okay, really not much else except for what's on the left side.
Establish a base of fire in that building.
Battlefield Airmen, at your command, sir. We're not afraid of the distance.
Get in there.
We got multiple malfunctions. The drone got hit.
Here, we're moving out.
All right, so there's things in areas that we can't yet touch, so we can
Double time.
ignore the artillery, recon for a little bit.
Troops in combat requesting
And we
orders.
successfully rushed that building.
Ducks, get in there.
Who called the Guardian Angels?
Infantry engaged in combat. Fucking move.
Go back that way.
PJ's here. Go ahead. On the move.
Infantry ready for combat.
And we're going to try to get stacked up around here because this is our next objective. A lot of this would have been laid out before the battle, don't you think? It wouldn't have been a surprise that, surprise of, hey guys, we're going to send you into a war zone and we're going to pop some surprise objectives on you. We don't want to let you know. We don't want to ruin the fun of being prepared and providing you with intelligence or contingency plans or possible enemy activity or movements or how they'll respond. Good luck.
ATGM carrier ready for action.
All right, I think we're ready to begin the fun now.
Fire and maneuver. Humvee reporting in.
I'm going to call out some Avengers for possible chopper attacks.
Good copy. Next waypoint received.
STT there will be responding to that too.
Copy. We take that building.
Regroup and move up. Infantry here, standing by.
And this infantry here will probably secure that building.
Speed is of the essence now.
Check that building. Infantry good to go. Infantry ready for action. Copy. We take that building. Run as fast as you can. Keep running. Go, go, go.
Crazy how
First
much
objective is in our hands.
fire you need to lay down.
Enemy planes are trying to take off. Nail them down before they can escape.
Oh boy.
From now on, this is a no-fly zone for the enemy.
When my units move forward, we captured. I didn't mean for that to happen. Enjoy the fun. Enemy's going to be trying to launch planes now.
Weapons here.
So much for that. There's
I
the
don't
end.
think any plane will try to take off after what happened to those three.
Troop transport. Standing
Establish defensive positions, but as soon as you have the chance, push out toward the middle of the runway and take control of the buildings there. Our strike planes are ready to support you. Don't hesitate to call them as reinforcement.
Absolute slaughter.
Lab ready for combat.
Infantry doing a good job blocking them. Okay, we got him.
Troops in combat. No party without Hardy.
Okay, let's repair quickly.
Catcher and move out. Weapons team here. Check a leg.
The enemy attacks are coming from these barracks. Clear them to secure our flank.
Done.
Humvee engaging combat.
So imagine if we had to fight against all that, like where they've spread out and are
Enemy
coming at
barracks
us
have
and we're
been
not
secured,
prepared.
sir.
Imagine that.
Refocus your attention on your main objectives, Commander.
Ready to rumble. Driver, move out. The cavalry has arrived. Moving out.
Helicopters are taking off from these helipads. Capture these hangars and nail them down.
ATGM carrier ready for combat.
Big
The
cheese.
helipads are under our control, General.
Perfect. Continue your progression. The airstrip is secured. Now let's move to our final objective. the command center of the airbase.
We're in combat.
We need to finish capturing this base before receiving the counterattack that will surely fall upon us.
Requesting maintenance.
Okay, we're gonna try to get Harms out to deal with any sort of whatever may come our way.
Commander, the satellite imagery analysis reveals the possible presence of an Su-57, codename Felon, stationed in an unknown area on this base.
See me coming.
This is the most modern and secretive stealth plane operated by Russia. Getting our hands on an intact airframe would be invaluable.
More valuable than the lives of our men, obviously. We're in the middle of an assault here, not playing treasure hunt.
There is more than one way to win wars, and knowing your enemy is one of them. You should look for this plane before they destroy it, Commander.
The most likely position would be in one of the many aircraft shelters surrounding the base. But that's gonna be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Combat patrol underway.
Signal clear. Receiving optical feed.
Oh, all hell let loose now, didn't it? Compared to where we were, things seem to be going bad, but trust me, this is this is us actually having a plan. We have a plan. You can see some of our losses so far, mostly from the barracks attack and choppers that have come in randomly.
One radar spike and they're dead.
Lots of reinforcements right flank.
Cab is on the field. Armored Fury is on its way. Labs standing by. Mobile artillery reporting in.
Okay, let's get ready to pummel the left side, and we need to find that damn Su-57, which I think is up here or over here, but I think it's on the right side.
On its way. Waypoint set.
All ass. On the double squad. Armored transport standing by. Keep it tight. Follow me. Pushing forward. Movement. Heavy weapons ready.
All right. No, 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 no. Cancel.
Hercules here. Go ahead. Fencing out.
Get everybody out of here.
Drone status red. We must have been hit.
Oh wow, they're just sitting on the runway now.
Mobile artillery standing by. Lab here. Go ahead. Someone call for a cab?
Flight plan updated.
Let's go ahead and kill anything in our rear with an A-10.
Moving to new grid. My gaze pierces cloud and shadow. Roger that.
I don't see the damn thing. Enemy counter artillery.
Drone status red. Something's wrong.
Providing direct fire.
Weapons team ready. Troops in combat. Send your orders. I got hit. Pole stick is shaking. Run as fast as you're dumb.
Try that again.
Inbound. I love big guns. Need some heavy firepower?
Look like the artillery there is toast.
My eye sees all.
Thunderbolt ready to attack. Warthog, mission ready.
We're watching.
It's not down here. It's not up there on the right. It's got to be over here on the left somewhere. Oh damn, they got a team in there. I did not expect that.
Who needs a guardian angel? Infantry ready.
Okay, let's get everything resupplied here.
Airmen on the ground. Look alive!
Now we took the building regardless.
Artillery at your command, sir.
I know you want to see that gun in action.
Armored transport ready. Moving in your
Well, let's tighten up security. It's got to be over here somewhere on the left, and that sucks because there is anti-aircraft there.
Copy.
Lab, reporting in.
That's got to be the worst possible location.
Humvee standing by.
Now, when we find it, we also need to get close to it too. So it's not enough to just send a drone and be like, there it is. You actually have to get close to it
Already there.
and kind of claim it.
Lab at your command, sir. Vehicle heavily damaged. Need maintenance. Keep moving. Personal carrier here. Infantry at your orders. Infantry at your command, sir. Infantry here, we are engaged. Secure that building.
Man, those trucks are everywhere. I'm trying to send these drones left and then go north.
Check.
But I'm also just going to brute force it with these tanks and make sure we didn't miss anything.
Someone call for a cab?
And this sucks because we gotta kill all that stuff over there to clear the way.
Vehicle damage. Requesting maintenance.
Okay, so not over here. So maybe up here. Which is probably going to be up there. Giving me the hardest
Eye in the sky.
challenge for today. Could you imagine if we just went in not knowing about the barracks thing and the helicopters? I mean, it would have been hell. Would have been like a 4-hour mission.
Mobile artillery.
I'll tell you what.
Artillery relocating. Cavalry here.
So now I'm just doing this because we are in a rush to complete the objective, you know, on the timer right here.
Vehicle ready for action.
Signal clear. Receiving optical
Sweeping
feed.
area. Armored cab here.
Hopefully we can break through and spot it.
Drone status red. It probably took a hit.
Armored transport ready. Move and secure. Go.
Wow.
You like
Little
big guns,
ZSU
huh?
blocking the way like that. Little rude boy.
Infantry reporting in.
Okay, I think that area is secure though.
Air defense here. We're combat ready. Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
So keep the air defenses
Humvee here. Go ahead.
nearby.
Moving out. Air defense here. Weapons team standing by. Weapons team.
Okay, I want to get the weapon team in that building there. Hate to lose the Hercules and such, but we've got 2 minutes to find this damn thing.
Humvee here. Go ahead. Recon vehicle is good to go.
And we need to get units up here, so, you know, it is what it is.
Pedal to the metal. Humvee here. Go ahead. Good copy.
Was it not up there either? What the hell?
Copy that. Looking for targets.
Where's this damn thing?
Changing grid.
It's not here.
Troop transport standing by. Lab reporting in.
Maybe up there. Oh, that one all the way up there.
Lab here. Go ahead. Who called the cavalry?
It's not here.
Armored cab.
Wow. It's going to be in the last possible bunker it could be in.
Moving out. Taking flag. Plane is still up. It's a miracle. Move your
I'm going to have to bum rush that.
I want a base of fire.
And same with the recons. We're going in.
Humvee copy. Next waypoint received. The cavalry has arrived. Weapons team engaged. What are your orders? Recon vehicle engaged in combat.
Insanity. It's got to be right there then. Oh, there it is. We found it. Okay. You may have seen that earlier in the mission then. I missed that. There it is. That's what we're looking for. You may have spotted it. I just did.
Sukhoi 57. It seems to be in perfect shape.
Wonderful. I'm sending a group to retrieve it immediately. Keep the position secured until they arrive.
Okay, the enemy may try to counterattack that, so let's put all the security we can around there.
Troop transport ready. Moving there now. Ready to rain down death. Roger, moving to next waypoint.
Okay, and this was meant for that attack here.
Mobile artillery ready. Send mission. Direct fire engagement.
All right, not too bad. Had to scramble a little bit to get that aircraft out of there, but you know, it is what it is. So honestly, this is probably my best playthrough of this mission so far, despite all the changes that they've made, and I'm down to even get better. It's going to be great to learn more tips and tricks from multiplayer to then deploy here.
My guys have lifted the Sukhoi 57 and are on their way back.
We hold the airbase, but the garrison of Kaliningrad has assembled a large force to retake it. They took their sweet time, but they're coming in force now.
Here they come.
We can bring some heavy equipment with C-17, but we only have time for a single delivery, so choose well.
Which equipment should we load into the C-17, Commander?
Maybe we need those 2 M1 Abrams. We really do. Yeah. Those are going to be the only things to stop that line. Here they come.
One-time delivery. You won't receive replacements for these units if you lose them, so be careful.
Thank you, boys.
Fighting the enemy group head-on with our light units would be suicidal. You should set up a defensive perimeter, spot them as soon as possible, then unleash our air power on them.
All right, unfortunately, we lost those toes from before, but we're going to get in position now.
Good. I can't wait to know if it's as good as they claim, or if the story of the MiG-25 will repeat itself.
You like big guns too? Roger, we're Oscar Mike. Armored cab, ready to rumble. Troop transport.
Okay, we're going to set up a group to try to flank behind them when they attack.
Moving there now. Moving out. Air defense ready for action.
Chopper, there it is.
Solid copy. Holding position. Fire and maneuver.
All right, let's get recon up. We can see these guys.
Drone is en route. Wilco.
Special tactics team. Hit those choppers. Oh, good. I'm glad the other ones become active.
Mobile artillery reporting in. Heavy cab, ready to roll. Anti-aircraft.
Damn, they're hurting our tanks on the runway there. Oh, did I call out a Ghost Rider by mistake? Sure did.
In the air.
Called out a AC-130 a little early.
Proceeding as frag.
Solid copy. Advance and report. Back out, driver. Sweeping area. Air defense, standing by.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Sir, we have detected the enemy group. They're not kidding this time. Dozens of tanks and IFVs in combat formation.
All right, maintain visual on them and send in the Air Force. Cluster bombs are perfect to damage vehicles. Once they're immobilized, they're as good as dead.
Tanks are dead. We're in the missile age now.
Just wait. Let them get closer.
Send your orders.
Not yet. All right, hit him, boys.
Let's drop some fireworks. Green light. Bomb run on target. Over here. We are engaged. Heavy cav.
They got here real early.
Air defense here.
Woo!
10-1 complete. And back. Eagle copies. Blower is on. Abrams, ready to roll.
Okay, we got to repair those tanks.
Here.
Oh, now those enemy units are heavily damaged,
Vehicle engaged.
but there's still too many for
Humvee
our
here.
tanks.
Go ahead.
Those Abrams didn't get a good chance to set up a line yet, but don't worry, the javelins will cause a lot of damage.
My gaze pierces cloud and
Have our recon go up.
shall be revealed. Roger.
M1 Abrams ready for action. Rolling.
Okay, recon's gonna come up here.
Humvee awaiting commands. Armored cav ready to roll.
Got a lot of men in those buildings. Gonna hold them in place for the jets to replenish. I get about about 700 something points.
Visual feed is up. Good copy.
And we're going now.
New bearing set.
Let's muster some cluster.
No party without Artie. Target marked. Direct fire.
Fire the artillery. Strike Eagle down the middle. Sorry, runway.
Attack run complete.
Oh, definitely damaged some more units in the back.
Artillery ready to fire, sir. Direct fire on my mark. Spearheading.
Not too bad. I want to get better at the this part of the mission where they come at you to find the best way to cut them off as soon as possible. But remember, we can't even load and save missions, so it's hard to practice. You got to go through all this just to get, you know, a couple minutes of practice. They walked right into the artillery.
Heavy armor is ready to rumble.
Abrams finish them off.
Anti-armor vehicle at your command. The big bird is in the air. Strike complete. Our tank got hit. Evaluating damage. Eagle, mission ready. Coordinates received.
No strike.
Bombs are ready. Bugging out.
I put him on air afterburner. That may have canceled his bombing run.
Heavy cav is on the field. Heavy cavalry ready for action. Strike complete. Good effect.
Oh wow, 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 wow. That took out 4 squads.
Abrams
Worth it.
ready to roll. M1 Abrams warmed up and ready to go. Instruments are all tits up, but she's still flying.
Okay, they got some AA out there. Let's have the Abrams hunt them down. Well, the
Fighting vehicle ready for
stragglers of whatever squad, they're totally dead. They're gone. They're dead. Enemy is just gone. All right, push to the end of the runway.
Welcome to the missile age.
Kill anything that moves.
Heavy cab, ready to roll. Solid copy.
It's over. All the vehicles left of the infantry and the crews are fleeing in disarray. So many losses at once.
Yeah.
That must be terrifying.
Beautiful, isn't it? That was a brilliant victory today, Commander.
Not bad.
The noose is tightening around Kaliningrad, and I'm sure they can feel it.
Could have been worse. All right. Well, that's all for today, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you all next time. Finish the mission in 30 minutes. Yeah, right, pal. But don't lose a plane, too. Yeah, sure.